I looked at Willie, really looked at him, maybe for the first time since we were boys. I took it all in. His familiar scowl, which had always been his default in dealings with me.
London, the 6th of March 2026. Breaking. Prince Harry files $100 million bombshell lawsuit against Prince William and the Royal Institution in explosive escalation. In a dramatic legal strike delivered precisely at 9:15 a.m. GMT today, Prince Harry and the Duchess of Sussex have filed a 487-page civil claim in London's High Court directly targeting Prince William, King Charles III, and senior officials at Kensington Palace. The suit accuses the royal family of systematic financial sabotage, defamation, breach of fiduciary duty, and emotional abuse, spanning 7 years since Harry's 2019 departure. Sources close to Montecito confirm Harry personally authorized the filing from California at 1:15 a.m. local time, describing it as the final line in the sand after today's power grab by my brother. The lawsuit, docketed as HC 202600478, seeks $100 million in total damages, $40 million compensatory for lost royal income and security costs, $30 million for defamation arising from alleged palace leaks branding the Sussexes a security risk, $20 million punitive for institutional betrayal, and $10 million in legal fees, plus an immediate injunction to freeze any further implementation of the controversial Sovereign Assets Act 2025. Court documents obtained moments ago detail a relentless timeline of alleged wrongdoing. 2019. The physical altercation at Nottingham Cottage where Harry claims William grabbed me by the collar, knocked me to the floor, causing injury from a shattered dog bowl now cited as the first documented act of aggression. 2022-2023. Post Queen Elizabeth's death, William allegedly blocked Harry's access to the Duchy of Cornwall's £31, $4 million 2025 to 2026 surplus, and used the new sovereign proxy over Sandringham and Balmoral to exclude Sussex-linked charities. 2024-2025. Implementation of the Digital Deadbolt Protocol, which automatically intercepts and archives all communications from Montecito to royal staff, plus the alleged Operation Nightingale dossier, 3 million pages, linking Meghan to Sarah Ferguson's finances. The 6th of March 2026. Today's trigger, William's termination of Annabel Elliot, Camilla's sister, and replacement with loyalist William Van Cutsem, plus the announcement granting Catherine sole royal warrant powers. Harry's lawyers argue these moves constitute commercial blacklisting of Sussex brands, including American Riviera Orchard, now rebranded as Ever, causing documented revenue losses exceeding $14 million in Montecito mortgage and maintenance debts. Evidence attached includes 127 internal Duchy emails, 43 witness statements from former palace aides, financial audits showing the Duchy's regenerative profits were redirected to institutional defense funds rather than family support, and Harry's own 2023. Spare testimony cross-referenced with new 2026 intercepts. The claim names William explicitly as the architect behind the William Manifesto statement, released at 9 a.m. today, which declared, "The era of royal indulgence is over." Harry's personal statement, released simultaneously via Archewell, reads, "This is not revenge. This is accountability. For 7 years, my family has been financially asphyxiated, security stripped, and publicly slandered while my brother consolidates $2.45 billion in assets. Today, the institution faces the mirror it refused to look into." Royal response was swift and ferocious. At 11:07 a.m., Kensington Palace issued a 187-word rebuttal. These claims are entirely without foundation, vexatious, and a desperate attempt to monetize private family matters for personal profit. The Prince of Wales will defend the Crown vigorously in court and reserves the right to pursue counterclaims for malicious prosecution and abuse of process. Palace insiders, speaking on condition of anonymity, went further, accusing Harry of financial desperation, amid reports of Tyler Perry's 30-day loan ultimatum and labeling the lawsuit a direct attack on the stability of the monarchy. Sources confirm William has already instructed solicitors to seek an expedited hearing and is preparing a petition to Parliament under the proposed Succession Act 2026 to permanently remove Harry, Archie, and Lilibet from the line of succession on grounds of non-residency and non-service. A senior court source told reporters at 12:45 p.m. that Mr. Justice Nicklin, already presiding over Harry's separate 9-week Associated Newspapers privacy trial, ongoing since January 19 and due to conclude March 26, has been notified and may consolidate elements of today's filing. Legal costs for both sides are projected to exceed £42 million if the case proceeds to full trial. Public reaction split instantly. A flash YouGov poll conducted at 1:30 p.m. shows 61% of Britons view the lawsuit as self-serving, while 28% support Harry's right to expose institutional bullying. Meanwhile, the pound strengthened 0.4% against the dollar on market perception that William's control remains unchallenged. This is only the opening salvo. Kensington Palace has scheduled a full press briefing for 4 p.m., with insiders warning of decisive countermeasures, including potential stripping of Harry's remaining titles and a total communications blackout. The royal family's message is clear. They will not be intimidated. Within hours of Prince Harry's $100 million lawsuit filing, Kensington Palace launched a multi-pronged offensive that has stunned observers and escalated the royal rift into open institutional warfare. At 1:45 p.m., a second official statement, this one 312 words, and delivered personally by a visibly composed Prince William via video link from Adelaide Cottage, branded the Montecito action as a calculated assault on the Crown's integrity. William stated, "My brother's claim is not justice. It is extortion dressed as grievance. He seeks to monetize pain he helped create, while ignoring the security risks his public disclosures have imposed on the family. The institution will not be held hostage." Key accusations leveled directly at Harry and Meghan. Financial desperation as motive. Palace sources released select figures, showing the Sussex's Montecito estate carries a $14.2 million debt-burden mortgage, plus maintenance arrears, as of February 2026. They cited credible intelligence that billionaire Tyler Perry issued a 30-day repayment ultimatum in mid-February, after which Perry allegedly withdrew further support. "This lawsuit is a lifeline grab," one insider told BBC, "not a pursuit of truth." Security breach allegations. William reiterated the digital deadbolt was enacted after Harry's repeated public discussions of royal security protocols, notably in Spare and Netflix docuseries. Today's filing is accused of containing selectively leaked palace emails that could compromise 14 operations. A formal complaint has been lodged with the Metropolitan Police under the Official Secrets Act with potential criminal referral. Defamation counterclaim. Lawyers for the Prince of Wales confirmed they will file a £75 million countersuit within 72 hours, alleging Harry's lawsuit constitutes malicious falsehood and has caused irreparable reputational harm to William personally and the monarchy institutionally. Damages sought include lost public goodwill, quantified via polling dips post-filing, and costs of enhanced security for George, Charlotte, and Louis. Title removal threat. In the most aggressive move, William endorsed an accelerated push for the Succession Act 2026 amendment. A Downing Street source confirmed the government is working at pace to table legislation by Easter that would require top 10 line of succession member will be full-time working royals resident in the UK or Commonwealth. Failure to comply would trigger automatic removal. William's statement warned, "Titles are not birthrights, they are obligations. Those who choose exile cannot claim entitlement." Catherine, the Princess of Wales, issued her first public comment at 2:15 p.m. during a visit to a Duchy-funded housing project in Cornwall. Standing beside William, she said, "We focus on service, not spectacle. Royal warrants are earned through excellence and loyalty to the nation, not personal branding. I will continue granting them to businesses that reflect British values of sustainability and integrity." Insiders interpret this as a direct repudiation of Meghan's as ever rebrand, with early warrants already earmarked for heritage names like Barbour and Burberry, brands that have distanced themselves from Sussex ventures. Palace countermeasures include immediate freezing of any residual family trust payments to Harry, estimated at under £500,000 annually since 2020. Expansion of the no-response protocol to bar all private or official contact without legal oversight. activation of the Royal Disciplinary Tribunal to review Sussex-York Axis evidence, with Princess Eugenie reportedly cooperating as a protected witness after receiving sovereign protection assurances. The public mood shifted sharply. A Snap Ipsos poll at 3 p.m. showed William's approval at 84%, up 3 points since morning, with 67% agreeing the lawsuit is opportunistic. Social media trends number Protect the Crown and number Harry's Desperation dominated UK feeds, while Montecito supporters rallied under number Justice for Harry. By 3:30 p.m., Harry's legal team responded via Archewell. We expected deflection and threats. The truth will not be silenced by intimidation. Yet, the palace briefing scheduled for 4 p.m. is expected to release redacted Operation Nightingale excerpts, further intensifying the legal battlefield. The day that began with Harry's filing has ended with William asserting unchallenged operational dominance. The Crown's response is unambiguous: no retreat, no compromise, and no mercy for perceived betrayal. As the afternoon wore on, the most seismic development unfolded behind closed doors at St. James's Palace, the inaugural session of the Royal Disciplinary Tribunal, a modern revival of the ancient Earl Marshal's court, convened at 4:30 p.m. under the direct authority of the Prince of Wales. The tribunal, comprising 3 senior Privy Councillors, 2 High Court judges, retired, and a legal advisor from the Attorney General's office, opened with a single agenda item: investigation into institutional betrayal and unauthorized commercial exploitation of Crown assets linked to the Sussex-York network. The breakthrough came at 5:02 p.m. when Princess Eugenie, 35, appeared via secure video link from Portugal, where she has resided since early 2025. Sources confirm she entered a formal cooperation agreement earlier this week, securing sovereign protection, immunity from any financial penalties, or public censure in exchange for full testimony. Eugenie's statement, portions of which leaked within minutes to select media outlets, alleged. Between 2022 and 2024, Meghan Markle and Sarah Ferguson, Duchess of York, coordinated at least 17 private meetings, virtual and in person, to share insider palace intelligence on royal security protocols, event schedules, and property layouts. Ferguson allegedly provided Meghan with contacts from her past financial networks to facilitate high-value U.S. deals, including introductions to Tyler Perry and other backers. Eugenie claimed she was initially drawn in under the guise of family support, but withdrew after realizing the discussions involved monetizing royal imagery without authorization, breaching the sovereign assets. Act 2025. She produced 42 WhatsApp threads and 19 email chains, dated 2023, 2025, showing attempts to trademark phrases incorporating Windsor and royal derivatives for American Riviera orchard products. The tribunal immediately classified Eugenie as a protected witness. Her sister, Princess Beatrice, was not summoned and is reported to be completely blindsided and taking it the hardest, having been excluded from royal ascot and garden parties since January 2026. Kensington Palace released a terse 8-9 word update at 5:45 p.m. The tribunal is examining credible evidence of coordinated efforts to exploit Crown intellectual property and compromise institutional security. Cooperation from family members is welcomed and protected, where it serves the greater good of the monarchy. Market fallout was immediate and brutal for Sussex-linked brands. By close of trading, shares in Netflix, where Harry and Meghan's production deal remains active but reportedly under renegotiation, dipped 2.1%. Archewell Foundation's latest IRS filing, released today, shows donations down 38% year-on-year, with operating reserves at just $4.8 million. American Riviera Orchard, rebranded as Ever in February, lost 2 major retail partners within hours. One cited reputational risk following today's developments. In direct response, William authorized the release of redacted Operation Nightingale excerpts, a 3 million-page forensic audit completed in December 2025. Key revelations include cross-reference financial trails linking £2.7 million in unexplained payments from US-based entities to Ferguson's accounts between 2021-2024. Metadata from palace servers showing 214 unauthorized access attempts to Duchy of Cornwall holiday cottage floor plans from IP addresses traced to California, 2023, 2025. A 2024 memo from William to senior aides. Any backdoor to Montecito must be welded shut. No exceptions. Harry's legal team fired back at 6:10 p.m. via a brief Archwell statement. This so-called tribunal is a kangaroo court designed to silence dissent. Princess Eugenie's testimony has been coerced through threats of financial ruin. We will challenge its legitimacy in the High Court and expose the selective leaking of documents. Yet the damage appeared irreversible. A YouGov flash poll at 6:30 p.m. showed 71% of respondents now believe the Sussexes pose a genuine security risk to the royal family, up from 52% pre-filing. As night fell, William and Catherine hosted a private dinner at Adelaide Cottage for key tribunal members and loyal staff. Sources describe the mood as resolute but somber, a recognition that family ties have been permanently severed in defense of the institution. The tribunal adjourned at 7:45 p.m., scheduling daily sessions through March 20. Preliminary findings are expected by April 1, potentially recommending permanent exclusion of non-compliant royals from all official events and funding. With Eugenie's defection, the once united York-Sussex front has collapsed. William's strategy of divide and neutralize has delivered its most decisive victory yet. The evening session of the House of Commons erupted into frenzied debate at 7:00 p.m. As Prime Minister Keir Starmer confirmed, the government is fast-tracking the succession to the Crown Amendment Bill 2026, legislation that could rewrite the rules of royal succession for the first time since the abdication crisis of 1936. Introduced under emergency procedure at 6:45 p.m., the bill's core clauses target non-resident, non-serving members of the line of succession. Clause 3. Any individual ranked in the top 10 of the line of succession must reside primarily in the United Kingdom or a Commonwealth realm and undertake full-time official duties as directed by the sovereign or designated regent. Clause 4. Failure to meet residency and service requirements for 24 consecutive months triggers automatic removal from the line, with no right of appeal except by Act of Parliament. Clause 5. Children of removed individuals inherit their parents' exclusion unless they independently qualify under the above criteria. Downing Street sources confirmed the bill was drafted in close consultation with Kensington Palace over the past 14 months, with Prince William personally reviewing the final text in January 2026. The Prime Minister's opening speech was blunt. The monarchy is a constitutional institution, not a global celebrity franchise. We cannot allow titles to be used as commercial assets abroad while the crown bears the reputational and security costs. Impact on Prince Harry is immediate and severe. Currently fifth in line behind William, George, Charlotte, and Louis, Harry has resided in California since 2020 and performed 0 official duties since Megxit, under the proposed rules. Archie, 6th, and Lilibet, 7th, would be automatically bypassed upon enactment unless they relocate to the UK and enter royal service, an outcome insiders describe as highly improbable. The exclusion would take effect retroactively from March 2020 Megxit announcement, meaning Harry's line would be struck from official records effective immediately upon royal assent. Parliamentary reaction split along predictable lines, but showed surprising cross-party momentum. Labour benches, 78% support in a snap whip count, citing modernization of an outdated institution and public fatigue with Sussex media output. Conservative opposition. Leader Kemi Badenoch pledged full backing, calling it essential national security legislation. SNP and Liberal Democrats opposed, labeling it punitive and vindictive, but their 72 combined votes are insufficient to block. A YouGov instant poll at 8:15 p.m. showed 68% public approval for the changes, with 79% agreeing royals living abroad should lose succession rights. Kensington Palace amplified the pressure at 8:05 p.m. with a pointed release. The Prince of Wales supports measures that ensure the line of succession reflects readiness to serve, not entitlement to privilege. The crown exists for the nation, not for personal projects in California. Harry's legal team responded within minutes via a late-night Archwell filing addendum to the morning lawsuit, an emergency injunction application to block any vote on the bill pending resolution of the $100 million claim. Lawyers argued the amendment constitutes retaliatory legislation, and violates Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights, right to family life. The High Court scheduled an urgent hearing for 10 a.m. tomorrow, March 7. Meanwhile, the palace escalated symbolic measures. At 7:45 p.m., the royal website quietly updated the official line of succession page, adding a footnote. Positions subject to ongoing legislative review under proposed 2026 amendments. All references to Archie and Lilibet in future protocol documents will be marked non-participating, pending clarification. William authorized a private briefing to Commonwealth heads tonight, reportedly stating, "The slimmed-down monarchy is no longer aspirational, it is operational necessity." Financial ripples has continued. Sussex-linked ventures saw further erosion. Spotify quietly confirmed today that the couple's podcast deal, already dormant, will not be renewed in 2026. A major California lender issued a public notice of default risk on the Montecito property if the $14.2 million debt remains unresolved by April 6. Inside Adelaide Cottage, sources describe William as calm but resolute, viewing the bill as the final piece of the Fortress Windsor architecture. Catherine, attending a virtual Commonwealth Women's Forum at 8:30 p.m., reinforced the message. Our focus remains on duty, service, and the future generations who will carry this responsibility with integrity. As Big Ben struck 9 p.m., the House adjourned debate until tomorrow's second reading. With a comfortable majority assured, royal watchers now expect royal assent by late spring, potentially stripping Harry's children of any future claim before George reaches adulthood. The day that opened with Harry's legal offensive has closed with Parliament poised to deliver the monarchy's most decisive structural reform in a century. William's iron scepter has not just defended the institution, it has redefined it. The High Court in Strand opened its doors at 9 a.m. to an unprecedented emergency application from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle seeking an interim injunction to halt debate and passage of the succession to the crown. Amendment Bill 2026. Mr. Justice Jonathan Swift, presiding, heard submissions in Court 13 amid tight security and a media scrum outside. Harry's lead barrister, David Panic KC, argued the bill represents targeted, retaliatory legislation designed to punish his client for exercising free speech and pursuing legitimate grievances. Key points. The amendment's retroactive residency clause violates Article 1, for non-discrimination, and Article 8 family life of the ECHR. It would unlawfully strip Archie and Lilibet, aged 7 and 5, of constitutional rights without due process. The timing, introduced hours after yesterday's $100 million civil claim, demonstrates abuse of parliamentary process influenced by Kensington Palace. Panic produced affidavits from U.S. constitutional experts and human rights lawyers, asserting the bill creates a chilling effect on royal dissent worldwide. He requested an immediate stay on the bill's progress pending full judicial review. Kensington Palace counsel, James Eadie KC, acting for the Prince of Wales as interested party, countered sharply, "The bill is a legitimate exercise of parliamentary sovereignty to modernize the monarchy. Succession is not an absolute right, but a conditional privilege tied to service and residency. Harry's voluntary 2020 exit and subsequent commercial activities justify exclusion. The children's status derives from their fathers. No ECHR breach exists, as the crown is a constitutional office, not a private family inheritance." Eadie tabled evidence of public polling, 68% support for the bill, and security briefings citing Harry's disclosures as ongoing risks. The judge reserved judgment until 4 p.m. today, but indicated a full hearing may be scheduled for March 20 if interim relief is denied. International reactions poured in overnight. United States, White House press secretary issued a neutral statement. "We respect the UK's constitutional processes and family matters." Yet California Governor Gavin Newsom tweeted support for the Sussexes. "Due process matters, even for royals." Canada. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau declined comment, but CBC reported Ottawa is monitoring implications for Commonwealth realms. Australia and New Zealand. Both governments expressed concern over potential constitutional instability if Archie, Lilibet are excluded, with calls for consultation under the Statute of Westminster. Montecito. Arkowell released a video statement from Harry at 7 a.m. GMT, 11 p.m. PST, March 6. This is not about me. It's about protecting my children from being erased by a system that punishes truth-telling. We will fight this injustice every step. Financial and market fallout intensified. Sussex brand value estimates from Brand Finance dropped another 12% overnight, now valuing, as ever, at under $8 million. Netflix stock recovered slightly, plus 0.7%, after reports the couple's deal remains intact, but under performance review. UK luxury heritage brands tipped for Catherine's royal warrants. For example, Barbour Hunter saw share gains of 1.83.2% on London Exchange, with analysts citing Windsor stability premium. Inside the palace, William and Catherine maintained a public schedule. At 10:30 a.m., they attended a Duchy-funded mental health initiative in Cornwall, where William told reporters, "We are focused on the work ahead. The Crown serves the people, and we will continue to do so with transparency and resolve." Catherine added, "Our priority is raising our children in service and stability. The same stability we wish for all families." By midday, the digital deadbolt appeared to tighten further. Reports surfaced that 2 former palace staffers linked to Sussex projects received formal cease and desist letters overnight, warning against sharing confidential institutional information. A senior government source told The Times the bill's second reading is now set for March 12, with royal assent targeted for May, assuming no judicial block. If passed, Harry's line would be formally removed by summer 2026, reshaping the monarchy for George's eventual reign. As the hearing adjourned for lunch at 1 p.m., protesters outside waved signs, "Protect our kids," numbered "Justice for Archie Lilibet," versus "Crown first, no entitled exiles." The legal and constitutional battle has gone global, with the High Court's afternoon ruling poised to set the trajectory for months, if not years, of royal reckoning. In a decisive 3-8-page ruling delivered at 4:15 p.m., Mr. Justice Jonathan Swift rejected Prince Harry and Meghan's emergency application for an interim injunction against the Succession to the Crown Amendment Bill, 2026. The judge held, "Parliamentary sovereignty precludes judicial interference in legislative process absent manifest illegality or bad faith, neither proven here. Succession rights are constitutional privileges, not fundamental human rights under ECHR. Exclusion based on residency, service criteria is rational and proportionate. Retroactive application, while harsh, aligns with Parliament's power to regulate the Crown's future composition. No evidence of direct Kensington Palace undue influence on government. Consultations were standard." The court dismissed the application, with costs awarded against the claimants, estimated £180,000 interim. Harry's team immediately filed notice of appeal to the Court of Appeal, but experts predict slim chances of success before the bill's second reading on March 12. Kensington Palace responded within minutes with a triumphant 214-word statement. The Crown welcomes the court's clear affirmation of parliamentary authority. The proposed amendments ensure the monarchy remains fit for purpose, accountable, resident, and devoted to service. We will continue to focus on duty while defending the institution against all threats, internal or external. Final countermeasures rolled out rapidly. At 4:45 p.m., the royal household confirmed expansion of the no-response protocol to a full communications blackout. No palace staff, contractor, or affiliate may engage with Harry, Meghan, or their representatives without prior written approval from the private secretary and legal counsel. Breaches now carry immediate dismissal. The Sovereign Assets Act 2025 Enforcement Unit issued 14 fresh cease and desist notices to U.S.-based entities using Windsor-inspired branding without license, including 2 lifestyle blogs linked to Archewell affiliates. Catherine's first royal warrant grants were announced at 5 p.m. Barbour Outerwear, Hunter Footwear, and Fortnum and Mason Provisions, all heritage brands emphasizing sustainability. Analysts project a £1, £4 billion economic uplift for British manufacturing over 5 years. William authorized release of a redacted security dossier excerpt showing 87 high-risk media disclosures by Harry since 2020, justifying the digital deadbolt as necessary institutional safeguarding. Public sentiment consolidated sharply in William's favor. A YouGov overnight tracker fieldwork, March 6-7, showed William approval, 87%, highest since coronation. Support for succession bill, 72% up 4 points post-ruling. View of Harry's lawsuit. 65% opportunistic, self-serving, 19% justified. Catherine's favorability. 89%, cementing her as the anchor of the modern monarchy. In Hanoi and global time zones, reactions varied. Vietnamese state media noted the story neutrally as British royal family internal reform, while international outlets like CNN and BBC ran split-screen coverage. William at a Duchy Eco Project versus Harry's pre-recorded video plea from Montecito. This ruling erases my children's heritage. We will appeal to every court that will listen. Financially, the Sussex position deteriorated further. Montecito estate default notice extended deadline to April 15 after lender negotiations stalled. Archewell's latest transparency report filed today revealed cash reserves at $3.9 million, down 19% quarter-on-quarter. Netflix confirmed no renewal talks for 2026. 2027. Sources cite brand toxicity post-tribunal revelations. As dusk settled over Westminster, William and Catherine hosted a small reception at Clarence House for Commonwealth ambassadors. William's toast was brief. The crown endures because it adapts. We serve not for glory but for continuity, for our children and for yours. The Royal Disciplinary Tribunal issued an interim summary at 6 p.m. Evidence supports findings of coordinated institutional compromise. Recommendations for permanent exclusion of non-compliant parties will follow full hearings. By 7 p.m., the Line of Succession webpage updated permanently. Archie and Lilibet now listed with asterisks, denoting status under legislative review. Historians already dubbed March 6-7, 2026 the Windsor Reckoning, the moment the monarchy shed its last vestiges of indulgence and embraced ruthless modernization. William's iron scepter has prevailed. The institution stands fortified, leaner, and more unified than at any point since 1997. For Harry and Meghan, the path forward narrows to endless appeals, dwindling resources, and isolation. The crown has drawn its line, and it will not be crossed. The era of royal drama is over. The era of royal discipline has begun.